So I played in the AAU 2 live periods as an unsigned senior, and then they offered me when the Adidas tournament was in Omaha actually.
I seen you play, bro.
Yeah.
I seen you play.
They offered me then, and then I stayed in contact obviously for like the next live period, and then Coach Mack and Coach Kellogg came down to Texas where we played last weekend. They watched me play, and then I was on my official on Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday I decided.
All right, welcome to Let It Fly show. I am Michael Severe, my partner in crime who always coughs during the open, Josh Jones, Central,
that was
Creighton,
random.
of course.
That was random.
No, one time you were checking your thing and it was like,
yeah, right, yeah.
I was like, is he over there fighting with that thing?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys where my cues, I don't really pay attention to them, man. If you got an itch, you just got to scratch it.
You got to go like, okay, and now you go.
Anyway, go
It is
ahead,
the Let It Fly show, of course. Want to tell you all about the Let It Fly Sports Bar. It'll be opening on June 16th in the Capital District. Great
crazy.
specials. It's going to be outstanding. It's going to be crazy because you have the National Championship Tournament for baseball happening.
Yep.
Obviously, you have the Let It Fly Sports Bar opening up. You're going to have, thousands, tens of thousands of people coming in for the baseball game.
Random people.
Yes, from all over.
That's what's even more
You
cool.
might have Mississippi State's fans coming from Stark Vegas. You may be having Vanderbilt fans coming from Nashville. You never know. They come from Michigan fans coming from Ann Arbor. You never know. And we'll be opening our doors on that day. It's going to be a blast. Of course, the podcast studio is in there.
Yep.
We'll be doing podcasts from there. They get the giant screens, great views, great food. It's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, I'm still pumped for those. What does Chef call the appetizers? It's a steak bites with the whiskey shot.
Oh yeah. The brisket. It was brisket.
I need that. Yeah,
it was normally the shot when you eat that is like a pickle back. They call it a pickle back. They're doing whiskey backs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll be on your back. You gonna mess around. And remind you, go to the website letitflysportsbar.com. Letitflysportsbar.com, and you'll see the specials that'll be up there. They're gonna have for $100 you'll get $125 in gift certificates. So you'll get $25 extra for your $100. So it'll be awesome as well. Just keep checking that out. And as always, salute to Omaha Steaks, which has been around since 1917, taking care of business in Omaha and around town. And a lot of that meat that you get there at the Let It Fly Sports Bar will be provided, of course, by Omaha Steaks. Where else will we go to get our meat? Other than we're in Omaha.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't we go to Omaha Steaks?
Yeah, right. You would figure. Hey, I tell you what, man. I am a steak connoisseur.
Oh, you are?
Just because I eat it a lot. Not because I know anything.
Not because you know anything about it.
Yeah.
So when you order it, go ahead.
All right.
You're at the table.
I got you.
I'm the waiter. I'll walk up and I'll say, okay, how would you like your steak, Josh Jones? And you answer.
When I was high school.
Like right now, today, tomorrow, this day.
Medium today.
Medium what? Medium?
Medium.
Oh,
period.
we ain't rolling together.
Now look.
That's way overdone.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
Like when I say younger, not by age.
It was well done.
Before I start going to these Creighton banquets.
Yeah.
They was well done for sure. Yeah.
I remember the first time my wife and I went and got steaks together, and we both said rare. We were like, oh, okay.
Rare.
Neither one of us eat asparagus. We both like our steaks rare.
Oh my!
That's how we knew. Lots going on, of course. A lot of portal stuff's been happening, both basketball and football. NBA playoffs going on. All that stuff going on.
Oh man, playoffs is lit.
Let me tell you. Before we get to the NBA, we'll do that after we do our interviews. Our guests, by the way, 2 new players joining the Blue Jays, and they're both walking in Memphis.
Yeah.
If you reference the song, both coming from Memphis, one coming from Memphis High School, another of them coming from the University of Memphis. We'll talk to both of them via the stream yard thing.
Yeah.
It's not zooming, we're not teaming, we're stream yarding.
They tapping in.
Yeah, we'll get a hold of them. We'll chat to both those guys, including
sure.
Jonathan Lawson, who, with the way things are working out with Creighton, who might be coming back, he might be playing a lot. I mean, you never know.
Right.
He was expecting maybe to come in and play a little. It could be a lot.
Right.
Stuff hitting the portal. But since last time we talked, A.J. Allen, one of the running backs for Nebraska, had 4 running backs for Nebraska. He decided into the portal, waited to the last day.
Crazy.
So I'm assuming that it was a tough decision for him to wait till the last day. This is disappointing me only because I think he had so much potential.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to go every Saturday and watch that potential develop.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Friday when they play Illinois.
Yeah, but that's selfish, man. Because these kids
I know it's I'm
like,
selfish.
Remember, we were talking about the quarterback spot.
Yeah. But there's more than one running back that plays.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, I think optimistically for the program in general, is good because that means that they're investing more in a specific talent and they're going to ride his coattail. So to me, I mean, not saying that the other backs won't play in a rotation, but for one to leave, I just feel like for the program is a good deal.
Let me ask you this, because you want competition.
Right.
Makes you better. At the same time, you want to play.
Yeah.
So where does that balance fall in where you say to yourself, well, I got to leave?
The balance is you figure out what type of schemes the coach is going to run. Mm-hmm. Like this. I remember, and I don't want to even use basketball. I'm going to forget basketball.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a different example. I'll just talk to the sport in general. Mm-hmm. If you got a coach that says, hey, look, this is the offense that we're running, and may the best man win.
Sure.
No matter how you cut it, if you got a split time, you're probably going to leave because you feel like you're equal to or greater than the person who's in front of you. But if you got an offense where it's a trick where you got multiple guys rolling in the rotation, I would rather almost leave for that more than leave to somebody to outright beat me out.
You're gonna have to, wherever he goes, he's gonna be sharing time. There is no monster back anymore where you get all 100% of the carries or even 80% of the carries now.
As you speak about
you just don't see it. Look at Iowa. So Iowa's a good example of a team. The best example of a running back getting a lot of carries is what Wisconsin does.
Yep.
Wisconsin will take whoever it is, whether it was Jonathan Taylor or whoever else, and that guy would get the lion's share. But remember, they always had another back that got 5 to 7 carries, caught some balls out of the backfield. So you're going to share time. And A.J. Allen's not a big guy.
No, he's not.
He's not Gabe Ervin, who was a bigger guy.
Yeah, right.
So I wish he'd have stayed around. I wish him good luck. I will follow his career.
I hope he left for the fact that he didn't want to. I hope he left for the fact that he couldn't get with the rotation type, just running in multiple backs at a time versus just getting outright beat out and just leaving.
I hope the concern wasn't that he looked at what Anthony Grant got last year in terms of number of carries and thought that was just necessarily going to transfer this year because this is a different coaching staff, different players. Gabe Ervin is healthy now. So I get it. I will cheer for him wherever he goes. I just wish it would have been here at Nebraska.
Man, it's tough.
Nebraska, speaking of Nebraska, basketball finally gets its point guard. They go to Iowa to get it. Man. So it's a guy they know very well who they played against. Aaron Eulis will be transferring to Nebraska for the 23-24 season. What do you think of him? I mean, he didn't put up big numbers, but he did start in the Big Ten.
Well, I think that Coach Hoiberg is probably thinking about somebody who can literally run the team and play a lot of minutes. Mm-hmm, I think he played a lot of guys last year because he was trying to do what worked because nothing was working. You know,
he had so many injuries.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But with the point guard that they got now, I think that he'll run a team for sure. Yeah. He'll facilitate and get those wings around him and forwards an opportunity to showcase their game. Also, I think it's kind of dope too. Shout out to Coach. He recruited the Bynum kid from Bryan High School. I thought that was cool just to try to look at some in-state talent.
Yeah, and there's nothing. I mean, they needed somebody to run the point because now, currently, they don't have a true point guard that I think they would want to start. So you bring Eulis in, started 27 games, so he's played a lot. They know the best way to scout somebody is to watch him play a lot.
Exactly.
Not just on tape. Again, they played against him 5 times.
Right.
So they know what he offers.
Right.
Now, I will say this. He's the 5th guy. They basically went through 4 other guys, including Hunter Salas, who they tried to get, they didn't get. Yeah. And now they get this kid. And then on top of that, they get Josiah Alec, who is a big physical kid who's now going to be with his 3rd team. He's out Lincoln North Star. Have you seen much of Josiah Alec?
I haven't seen much of him at all. Yeah.
6'8", 240.
Wow. What? In Nebraska?
In Nebraska. Well, he left, went to small school, then left the small school, went to New Mexico, played in the Mountain West, and now coming back home to kind of finish his career.
Oh, he's a bruiser then.
He is a bruiser.
Anytime you play in the Mountain West Conference, especially at New Mexico, you're a bruiser for sure.
He was at Kansas City, what's it called? UMKC.
Okay.
He was there before he went to New Mexico, and now he's here. 8 points a game. Yeah. 7 rebounds a game. So, I mean, he's done a lot. Yeah. And played all over the place.
Yeah,
so.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Nebraska. I mean, replacing Walker. You just mentioned young fella from Nebraska coming back.
Alec,
Yeah, with the point guard also, too. I can't predict that they're going to be, like, higher or lower, but I think it's a start.
All right, so we're going to go. Is it Brock Weiss first? Is that who's going first? Brock Weiss first? Cool. He is a 6'10" center. He was finalist for Tennessee's Mr. Basketball during his senior year, ranked as the number 32 best center prospect by 24/7 Sports, and number 3 overall player in the state of Tennessee. Brock joining us now. We appreciate you taking. How you doing? How's everything going? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, sir. I'm good. How are y'all?
We're doing very well.
So where you at, bro? You at the crib?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
looks like you're laying in the bed. Is it a sleigh bed? Is that what you're laying?
Yeah,
I'm glad you're comfortable, man. So tell us. Obviously, the first question is, what made you choose Creighton? You had made a choice. You were going to go someplace else, but you decommitted there, and now you're choosing to come to be a Blue Jay. Why are you doing it?
I mean, I've known me and Mason played in high school together here in Memphis, and then Xander also played with us, but he's transferring.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Lawson was on that team as well. I mean, and then the coaches are just great. I've known them just in between, just because me and Mason have known each other for however long, and he told me it was a great place and it'd be a good fit for me, and I'm ready.
Word. Talk about this, man. You mentioned Mason, you mentioned Xander. I know he's leaving, but what can you envision? I remember, like, when I was in high school, if I had teammates I played with, it'd be kind of amazing for them to come play with me. What can you see kind of happen or popping off? You know, you playing with your old teammates.
I mean, I think our chemistry will still be there as it was when we were in high school, and I think just our connection will just be there automatically before we even get playing in games and all that. I think it's just our connection is just already there before everything starts.
Newest Creighton commit, Brock Weiss, joining us. Was it difficult to inform the coaches from St. Louis that you were decommitting? How was that for you?
Yeah. I mean, it was a hard phone call to make. I was nervous about it, very nervous.
Yeah.
Because you never know what they're going to say on the other end of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Were they cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was a short phone call. It was about 4 minutes long. It wasn't too bad.
Right. Where were you at when you got the opportunity to come be a Blue Jay? And how quick was the decision to change your mind?
Pretty quick.
So I played in the AAU 2 live periods as an unsigned senior, and then they offered me when the Adidas tournament was in Omaha, actually.
I seen you play, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen you play.
They offered me then, and then I stayed in contact, obviously, for like the next live period. And then Coach Mack and Coach Kellogg came down to Texas where we played last weekend. They watched me play, and then I was on my official on Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday I decided.
How do you kind of describe your game? Are you a stretch 5 or are you a 4? What do you think of, and what do you think your game will be like here at Creighton?
I think I'll play 4 and the 5 some, but mainly probably the 5, just a stretch 5.
All right, I feel it. What about from the perspective of, like, was Creighton your interest because of the connectivity with former teammates or things like that? How much of Creighton basketball had you seen before this point? And, like, what about the style of play do you like that fits your game?
I mean, I watched Creighton all last year and the year before just because following Mason and Xander and them. And me and Mason's little brother are best friends, so I'm always hanging out with them. And me and Mason's family went to last year's NCAA tournament in Fort Worth, the first round.
All right.
That was fun seeing everything. And then I think I fit in the play style well because I can shoot it. I can play out inside and defend. I think shooting is the biggest point.
New Creighton Blue Jay Brock Weiss joining us here on the Let It Fly show. What do you know about Nebraska? Give me something that you know about Nebraska or about Omaha. What do you know?
They have really good steaks.
There you go. Omaha steaks is good. Yeah. College. Have you heard of the College World Series before?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have you looking forward to? Because did you ever work the College World Series?
I had to, man.
You make pretty good money on the side working the College World Series.
Down there in them parking lots.
Working the parking lots.
$10, $15 parking right here. That's gonna be you.
That'd be awesome. Did the coaches kind of give you a plan? I mean, are they talking red shirt? And does that matter whether or not certain guys come back or not? Right. What is the plan they're giving for you?
I mean, I think if Kalkbrenner comes back, I'll more than likely redshirt. But then if he doesn't, then we'll just go through the fall, and then the decision will be made right before the season if I redshirt or not.
All right, I feel that. What was it about initially St. Louis, and what were your other offers around that before you chose St. Louis, before decommitting and committing to Creighton?
I mean, St. Louis was like the same thing, same reason I committed to Creighton. It was like I have great relationships with everyone over there. I fit in the play style well. And then, I mean, the other offers I had were VCU, Tulsa, Washington State, App State, North Texas. That's about it. I can remember off the top of my head now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You also played football your senior year. Led the team in receptions and touchdowns.
At 6'10".
At 6'10". Was it all like alley oops and like lobs into the end zone? I mean, what did you run a lot of routes at 6'10"?
Yeah, I mainly ran the fade and then like a skinny post kind of.
What was it about that? Like, why?
There's nothing skinny at 6'10", 240.
Yeah, right. Like, did you like growing up? Did you play football just because it was another sport that you like to play, or like, I mean, at 6'10" and playing basketball, like, what was it? Like, at what point did you say, "All right, I'm all in on playing basketball, but I'm still gonna play football just because"?
I mean, I've played football my whole life. I took off my junior year where I just played basketball all around, all year round, and I think that was like my biggest jump in my skills and everything. But I decided that I was going to play basketball mainly probably 8th grade. And then from there on, I just focused mainly on basketball and just played football just for like strength and physicality.
We're going to talk to Jonathan Lawson coming up in a little while. Tell us something about him. What is it? Describe his game. What was it like playing with him?
I mean, he will tell you when you mess up.
That means you messed up a lot. That's the first thing that you said.
I mean, he loves running his mouth when we play. It's good. It's fun to play with. I mean, he's great. He can shoot it. He can finish. He's long. He's a great defense player. He takes my ball about every time we play one-on-one. But
that's funny.
What kind of coach is Mike Miller?
He's a great coach. He's very, very intelligent. I mean, we ran a pro-style offense and what were we, 16, 17 years old, 18 years old. I mean, so it's just way more advanced than a normal high school coach.
Yeah. When was the growth spurt for you?
6th grade to 8th grade. I started middle school about 5'11", 6 foot. In 8th grade, I graduated like 6'8", 6'9".
Dang. Something in that water.
I always wonder about
man.
that. So, like, are you buying clothes? Is your mom buying clothes for you like every week, or like how? Or she letting it get real short, then she buys it? How did that work?
I mean, she pretty much just gets stuff when she can because it's hard to find stuff like long enough for my arms and for my legs. So kind of hard.
I feel it. When did you develop that relationship and meet your teammates, your former teammates? Like Xander and Mason and Jonathan.
So I've known Mason and Maverick since I was like 9, but my family moved to Virginia at the end of 5th grade. So I was in Virginia from 6th through 9th grade. I moved back here my sophomore year, and we all played on. That was their senior year, my sophomore year here at Houston when we won state, and then that's when we all my relationship got really tight.
I believe that every part of the country you have a different way you play. Describe Memphis basketball for me.
Yeah.
Run and jump, full court press, and that's about it mainly. Everyone just should run and jump, traps, press. A lot of athletic dudes. You never know who's going to be able to dunk on you at any time.
How many times have you got banged on?
Well, I didn't get dunked on any this year, but my sophomore year in practice, Mason, Jarrell, I got dunked on all the time.
Was that the team that won state?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, you guys were good. I mean, you get dunked on occasionally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was it like winning the state tournament? So talk about like what it takes to. So in Nebraska, like we don't really have it's not as big. So like we don't got regionals and all those type of things.
Yeah. Districts and then boom.
Yeah. How does it work in Memphis when it comes to high school basketball to win the state, be the state champions?
So it goes regular season, obviously, and then it goes districts, and then the first four from district move to region, and then our region we play 4 teams. So the one plays 4, 2 plays 3, and then from each side, and then the top 2 from region go to play sub-state,
Dang.
The winner of the region hosts. The loser has to travel, and then the winner of sub-state, you go to state, and then it's quarterfinals, semifinals, championship.
Oh, that's hard to win.
That's a run.
You're a real state champion.
That's a run. No doubt about that.
I think you got to win 10 to win it all in the postseason.
Man, you know how many you got to win in Nebraska?
4. How many? 4? Is it 4?
4?
3.
3. Oh, wow. Okay,
Yep.
that's not bad at all.
3.
Hey, last thing for me, Brock. When are you expecting to be in town? When do you expect to to graduate, and when are you going to be here?
So I graduate this coming Friday.
Yeah, congrats on that too, bro.
And then I report the 5th, I think. I have to be there the 5th, so I'll probably come up there the 3rd or the 4th.
Of June, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Man, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time, and congratulations on your decision.
Thank you.
It's always good talking to people like that, man, because it's easy to win. I mean, it's hard to win state in Nebraska, bro, but
that's a run, though. To go through that much,
10 in a row
that's
to
a
win
lot.
it all.
That's a lot to go through.
I mean, that goes beyond just like the better team. That come down to who just is on that night.
Yeah, well, think about having 5 guys, at least 5 guys, who all went to Division I, all played in Power 5 conferences. Well, pretty much Power 5 conferences. Memphis is not a Power 5 conference, but all these guys going to these Power 5s, you should win. Yeah, but a lot of these teams, these all-star teams they build are like that. It's always weird to think they're in Memphis going to Houston High School.
I know.
That's just a little weird. I was like, I had to double take a couple times with that. We're gonna chat coming up with Jonathan Lawson, who is, of course, the guy coming in who they expect to play quite a bit. Played his freshman year at Memphis, had some big games. Obviously, he's a guy who is kind of explosive, can make plays, but at the same time, didn't get the minutes. We were talking about this before we came on air.
Right.
You go to a school.
Yeah.
You have a certain expectation. You played a ton of minutes in high school. You played all the time. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're like, well, you're playing 20.
Man,
you're playing 15.
But the thing is, sometimes those stats don't really line up with the circumstance of the situation. I mean, you can go to a school and you can be all world, but that system got 55, 60 plays, and you can't get any of them. So it throws off your playing time because it messes up the offense.
Man, so tell me about this. I've heard this about a couple of guys. I'm sure you played with guys that just didn't comprehend the offense.
I didn't. My first year.
You didn't? That's got to be the toughest thing.
It was more my
besides physicality.
I don't know if it was my physicality from having open heart surgery the prior year or didn't know all the plays that Coach Altman was trying to put into his offense. And be honest, Coach Mack got a lot of plays too, but his are more in schemes though.
Okay.
Coach Altman was more in a primary and secondary type set. So for me, I think that with all the plays that you got, honestly, for the kids that just don't know it, I say that they go play somewhere where it's 5 out, man. Because I mean, you got to know it though. I mean, if you want to go to that next level, but for my circumstance, I had the red shirt.
That's what you hear. You hear it a lot. I mean, a guy may be physically ready to come in from high school or junior college or wherever else, but picking up the system and learning it right away and making it second nature.
Exactly.
And some guys are just built that way. Yeah. They just understand basketball just rolls through their brain and it just works.
Yeah, it goes fast, But also you got those coaches, too, that kind of invest in certain players. Some of those players don't be knowing the plays, and they are able to make mistakes far more than the other guys. So that's a percentage of the people in the transfer portal.
Here's an example. So Lawson last year, who was a 4-star recruit going to Memphis, averaged 3.4 points, 1.5 assists, 1.2 rebounds, and played 15 minutes or so?
Yeah.
I mean,
so that to me tells me that he was an athletic contributor, but he wasn't the main guy who facilitated from experience or execution of the offense.
There's a lot of talent there at Memphis, so it's tough. When we come back on Let It Fly show, we'll chat with the latest guy who's going to play a lot of minutes with Creighton.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lawson.
We think.
When we come back. All right, joining us now, former Memphis Tiger and newest Blue Jay, Jonathan Lawson, joining us here on Let It Fly show. Jonathan, we appreciate it, man, and congratulations on your choice.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me come. Thank you.
Hey, you sound like you at the gym or something already, man. You getting into work, right?
Yeah, I just got done working out.
Yeah, see?
Sir. Trying to get.
So tell us what led into the choice to come to Creighton. What led into the choice of you becoming a Blue Jay?
Just the way they go about things and the culture. I've been watching them all year, and the way when I entered the portal, Coach Mack, every coach had called, and they feel like a family, and it just felt like a place I can come and grow on and off the court. with a group of guys, and they mean business. Like they focus and everybody working around there.
Hey, talk about your experience at Memphis. You know, you're playing for a legendary coach like Penny. You know, kind of talk about that experience there.
It was a great experience learning under Penny the hard way. You know, he know all things about the NBA. He know what guys like what it takes to get there, and he helped on and off the court, like I said. And he's just a great mentor for Memphis, for City of Memphis. But it was like time for me to try something new because I've been around Memphis so long.
For sure.
I can't span my wings and like try new things and like get better from. I've been knowing Penny for like since I was like 10 years old, so it's just been better like going to somewhere else and get a different experience.
Jonathan Lawson joining us here on Let It Fly show. So when you're talking to Coach Mack and you're talking to Coach Miller and that, what kind of tell us what the plan? What do they expect from you? What are they expecting for you in terms of your play and how much you're playing?
It just depends on the guys who come back. Like if Trey come back, I'll be playing like off the bench and like around the 2-3 area. Like when Baylor go to the 4, sometimes fit in there right there. So it's just they told me straight up like what it's gonna be and how like the rotations are gonna be, and like I can be competing against like pros every day because them 2 guys are pros like in the guard area. It's just gonna better me for next year and like when it's for my time to like be the man, then it's gonna like develop me like perfect.
Hey, kind of talk about your connection, Mason. You know, some of your high school teammates. You know, we also read that we're gonna get to it about you winning state 3 different times at 3 different schools. You know, but kind of talk about that relationship and that chemistry and how you can kind of see, you know, your former teammates playing with you and how this can play out for y'all at Creighton.
It can play out well because I know Mason very well. I known him since like 4th, 5th grade. And we played together one tournament in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we just been close. And like we just got back together like my end of my senior year. And like we gonna gel together the good because like me and Mason know what each other do best, and like we gonna make sure we put each other in the best ability so we can like succeed together.
Josh mentioned it. 3 different high schools, 3 different state championships. Is that right? How does that all play out, man?
Yeah, right.
So my first year, I was at East. It's the year after my freshman year. Penn took the job at Memphis, so therefore I had transferred to Wooddale with my dad, and we had won state 2 out of 3 years over there. Well, 2 years. Man, we went to state both years. 1 year COVID had hit, so it had made me transfer to Houston, where I met. We had got into it with Mason and them, and like they really wanted me to come over there and play with them. So I think that was the best opportunity for me to play, and like for us and like gel together, because it was the best. Like it was the best coaching. Like Mike was the best opportunity for coaching wise for me, because he gonna let me play my game. So that was like that how it went really, and we had won state there. I think this the year I won MVP at state. It was more like I had to help do everything, carry, guard the best player. And my other 2 states, when I was at Wooddale, my brother was the man, so it was like a different role for each state. So last state was like I had to do the most, and I had to end up winning MVP.
Nice.
How much older is your brother than you are, or younger?
Chandler, he 2 years older than me, 2 years and 4 days.
Okay. What was basketball like for y'all growing up? Like, who were some of y'all mentors and inspirations to, like, you know, get y'all to where y'all at today?
Basketball inspirations today, really my brothers and my mom and dad, my family members, really. That's who pushed me to become who I am today, because they on me hard every day. I'm battling against my brother. They know my weakness and strength, so I'm battling against them every day. They know what I want to do and what I don't. And we just got to just push each other. My dad, he coached me my high school career. My mom coached me all the way up, and she know what I can do best, and she stayed on me tough. So that's how it went. But we just been battling, like I've been playing 2-on-2 with my brothers all my life, and like we just been getting each other better, iron sharpening iron.
So when was it? At what point of your life, your career, will you first beat your brother, your older brother?
Probably I'm the most competitive one, so I hate to lose. So it was probably like going towards middle school. I hate losing. I hate losing more than winning. So that's what was my edge. So I hate losing. So I really just started getting that edge I've been like I have a chip on my shoulder whenever I play. So this one like around my middle school years, and when I start like get better and better each year.
What do you think about the Big East Conference, man? It's a different animal. Have you been looking at the previous years? Obviously, UConn won it all. Creighton, your school now, went to the Elite Eight. Kind of talk about, your excitement or however you feel about the Big East.
I'm very excited because I'm going to be playing in pros every day. Like, every night going to be a battle. Like, in the AAC, some teams, like, one as talented or one that's better than us, we knew we was going to go in there and win. But every night in the Big East, we're going to have to go out there and fight every night like it's our last. So that's the difference in playing against pros. They're going to better me for, like, the future and such and such.
Jonathan Lawson joining us here on Let It Fly show, newest Creighton Blue Jay. We asked this of Brock Weiss earlier, what kind of player you are. Describe me what kind of player Brock Weiss is.
Brock, he's a great player, a great rebounder. He can stretch the floor. He can finish. He's just a great rebounder. 6'10". He's a smart basketball player. He can bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, I think he said you dunked on him, bro. Is that true?
Yeah, I dunked on him when I first came to Houston. They didn't know who I was.
That's the one.
If they came in from out of town, they didn't know who I was, really.
Word.
A lot of out-of-town guys on our team.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had caught him one time.
When do you plan on arriving here in Omaha?
Man, as soon as possible, really, but the dude to report by June 5th, I'm going to try to come around like June 1st to the 4th between
Hey, what do you know about Omaha?
When I visit, it's a nice city, and the fans, they love the fans. Where they treat their players, they welcome us with open arms. So that was a big thing. Like their fan base, they had a crazy fan base, really.
Yeah.
What are you gonna miss most about Memphis? I know you guys got pretty good barbecue there, but what you gonna miss most about Memphis?
Our wings, probably. That's probably it. Probably wings. We got the best wings in the world.
What?
So, like the different flavors we have. So, yeah, we got the best wings in the world. I got to come down here and try some.
Hey, well, don't trip,
That's
bro.
a bold
You can
statement.
go from best wings to best steaks in the world right here. Right in Omaha, man, with Omaha Steaks.
Yeah.
Tell me about these wings. Are they battered wings? Are they fried wings? Are they baked? How are these wonderful wings?
They some fried wings, but they got different flavors. Like they got honey hot. I don't think there's nowhere else honey hot. They got honey gold, Memphis gold. They just got some different flavors. So it's like we don't have no flavors you go out of town. So it's like the flavors you go out of town, they mostly have just barbecue or buffalo.
For sure.
Oh, you're gonna like Omaha because we got a lot of flavors at our places, man. So you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot more than that.
What's the best spot to eat at out there?
Well, we're not. I don't even want to call it. There's a place not too far where we'd be playing basketball that I think is really good. But we got a brand new sports bar opening up called Let It Fly Sports Bar.
Yep.
Opens in June, and I know our chef. I've met him. He's gonna be some really good wings.
Can't wait, bro.
Yep.
Right across the street from where you play at. So just walk on over.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will.
Jonathan, congratulations, man. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Good luck in your future. Can't wait till you get to your Omaha.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, welcome back. We appreciate our guests for coming on with us. How much of the NFL draft did you watch?
To be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to watch none of it, bro.
None of it?
I'm gonna tell you why. This is my first year, and I was mad at it.
All right, okay.
My son is so busy.
Yeah,
we've been working.
Yeah.
We've been working on his game.
Yeah,
and it's been cutting into football.
I always tell people one of the greatest blessings of our life is to have unathletic kids. Because we ain't got to worry about all that.
And it was in Kansas,
we ain't got to be worried about all that.
Was it Kansas City, the
traveling
draft?
and doing all that stuff. It was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Let me get headlines, of course. As we all know, first pick, Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
They go with Bryce Young. And wasn't crazy. A lot of people knew that was going to happen as it goes along. But then you have a situation where you have Houston. Yeah. Houston Texans are sitting there. And I've been watching – let me just give you my background.
Yeah,
okay?
help me out.
1986. Yeah. I got into the draft. Okay. I was just 16 years old.
Who was the top 5 players in 1986?
Well, in 1986, this is the thing. The Saints got a new coach, Jim Mora.
Yep.
And I realized, I was like, okay, let me start following where they're getting these players from.
Yeah.
And back then, it wasn't even on live TV. Okay.
So not even previously
and by the way,
recorded?
it was Monday and Tuesday. It wasn't on the weekend.
Yeah.
And so I'm in school with my earpiece in, listening to the draft. Miss Gubala, my teacher, caught us.
Shout out Miss
and
Gubala.
took my radio from me. I was so upset. Couldn't get it back to the end of the year. But I've been so into the draft, right?
Wait. The end of the year?
Yeah, she kept it all the way. So this was
crazy,
April
to
the end of May. So it wasn't a long time.
All right.
But if you had anything on your desk and she caught it, took it for the whole year. Hairbrush, it didn't matter. So
Go ahead, my bad.
So that year, the Saints took Dalton Hilliard and Jim Dombrowski. They had a really good draft.
Yeah.
And that made me realize, wow, this is really important.
Yeah.
So I really started getting into it to the point where I used to make draft reports and I was all into it.
Yeah.
And so I don't do that anymore because now I have a life. No, I'm just playing. I don't do it as much as I used to do it, you know. I once went to Mel Kiper's house.
Oh, wow.
In Rockbrook, in Maryland, with my draft report, and I put it down in his front stoop.
Yep.
I went back and got it and took it. But I left it for a minute, which happens all the time. People always drop them off, young people wanting to get in the business.
Right.
So what happened at 2 and 3, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen where a team can't decide who they want.
Right.
There's a quarterback there and maybe the best defensive player. And they say to themselves, you know what, we want both. So they take C.J. Stroud, knowing they're going to have to move all the way back up from where they were at 11 and 12 to come up to 3 to have back-to-back picks. They get Will Anderson, the best pass rusher for most people in the draft.
Right.
They get either the first or the best quarterback, second best quarterback. That's an incredible move.
Man.
It was incredible. And I mean, I was watching the draft with some friends of mine. We usually get together, but I wasn't going to Kansas City because I hate their fans. So anyway, we've been to Philly, we've been all over the place, right?
Yeah.
We're watching Zoom together, and we're all like, just jaw drops when they name it. The other big thing was Will Levis dropping out of the first round.
Yep.
A lot of people
that
thought
was
maybe,
crazy. I mean, I read some. That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, and look, none of us, no evaluator.
Yeah.
Okay, I grew up a Penn State fan. All right.
Yeah,
I grew up a Penn State fan. My dad worked on the campus. I lived on campus for the last 2 years of his life. Anyway, I watched Will Levis play at Penn State. Mm-hmm. Then I watched him play at Kentucky. And his second to last year, that's when he had, more of he had Wando Robinson on the team. I watched a lot of that, and I saw some skills, but he always made huge mistakes. Like mistakes that a guy wouldn't ever make at that level. Then his next year, again, a bunch of mistakes you just wouldn't see.
Yeah.
He had lesser talent than he had the year before, but still, he didn't like a top 5 pick to me, or even a first rounder. But
so you're okay with him dropping?
I'm not surprised. I mean, he's a big physical guy. Maybe he learns. This is a good place. So he goes to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he sits behind the starter, behind Ryan Tannehill, and he waits.
He will.
And maybe that'll be a big thing for him, or Tannehill gets hurt and he has to play or whatever else.
That's how Tony Romo start balling.
Exactly. And when he got a chance to play, he won the job. Yep. Same thing when he got hurt. Dak Prescott got a chance to play, and he won the job. So the same thing might happen. Yeah. Philadelphia had a great draft. The Eagles, most of my friends are Eagles fans. Yeah. They were very happy all night. And then they make a trade. They bring in DeAndre Swift, too, from Detroit. So they were loaded. I thought the Steelers had a great draft. They're great because the Steelers, they scout wonderfully. Mm-hmm. And so they just stay there, wherever they are, and go, okay, we know when it's our turn, we're going to see the best player.
Right.
And if you watch them, they have this way of finding like wide receivers in the 6th round, 7th round, 5th round that become really good. Yeah. They're just great at it. They're great drafters. Yeah. It's a great organization.
Who was Buddy that the Cowboys drafted his son? I can't think of his name on top of my head.
Okay. Deuce Vaughn.
That was cool.
So Deuce Vaughn, 5'5.25".
Man.
He little. But if you watch Kansas State play, or you play any daily fantasy with college, you know that dude was the guy you wanted because his junior year. Yeah. At one point, Kansas State, which did not have an electric passer, was like number 2 in the country with plays over 20 yards because of him, because of what he could do.
That's big time.
So he goes in the 6th round at Dallas. His dad was a scout. That was awesome late in the draft. It was emotional. The biggest surprise was Detroit, running backs. So you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's a really good player at Alabama, goes a lot higher than anybody expected. Right, that's Detroit, who already had a good running game, goes and gets him. And then what Atlanta did at 8, look, man, I think Bijan Robinson is one of the best players in the draft. But the value of a running back, when you already have a good running back at Atlanta, is weird.
There's no value.
I don't think there's any value. So they did that. That was one of the weirdest things as well. Right. They were either number 1, 2, or 3 in every one of the analytic stats for running the ball last year.
And then they went out and run.
You don't know what you're going to do. Right. Let me get you this. Who wins Lakers-Warriors? As of this moment, because there's another game coming up. We're taping this Thursday night, basically. Lakers up 1-0. Who wins that series?
Ooh.
Lakers-Warriors.
I'm gonna say Warriors in 7.
Warriors in 7. Big good series.
And my reason is just because I feel like after playing that hard Game 7 against Sacramento.
Yeah, they were.
To play the Lakers right away.
Yeah, it makes sense. 2 days later, completely makes sense. Nuggets Suns. Yeah. As of this right now, Nuggets up 2-0. I think the Suns win Game 3.
Yeah, but
they throw everything at it.
Right, but the Nuggets gonna win the series.
Nuggets win the series. Yeah, I'm with you on that. On the other side of the East, Philly Boston. Again, as of this taping, it is 1-1 Philadelphia.
Philly Boston.
They got killed last night by 40.
Boston is very. They almost look like a more experienced, more mature team. I mean, they've been there a lot of times. Yeah. They're coming out of this series.
Okay.
I'm leaving it at that.
As a Sixer fan, I hope you're wrong. Yeah. And then Miami and New York, which is a really competitive 1-1.
For some reason,
Jimmy Butler's a little banged up.
Yeah, I'm caught up in this culture of wanting to see New York do good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Look,
I don't know.
I always believe this. Pick a sport. I don't care.
Yeah.
When the teams in big markets who have historically had some great programs.
Right.
When they're winning, it's better for the whole sport.
Yeah.
When the Raiders are good in football, because of their history, it's better for the sport.
Yeah.
And as much as I may not like the Yankees as a Mets fan,
I agree.
when the Yankees are good, it's better for the overall sport.
And I hate to say it, even though I'm going for them, the Heat coming out.
So you think the Knicks win?
No,
the Heat wins. I'm with you. It all depends on Jimmy Butler's ankle, though.
I know.
I mean, that's a question.
I know.
How Jimmy Butler's ankle is. So that's a big thing,
But the inexperience and the lack of simple plays that the New York Knicks will make down the stretch is what will make them lose.
So you have Miami and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Nuggets and Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly.
And then you have
Steph Curry winning his 5th ring.
What?
Yes.
Man, Golden State's not getting past the Nuggets.
This is the same guy who said, watch out for Rayola's nephew. Same guy.
Yeah, but Dylan Murray's going to Georgia.
Man, people, this portal... This
I know. You never know.
I just feel like it's just going to work out like that.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Pat, should we wrap it up or we're going to wrap it up?
We're going to wrap it.
Special thanks, as always, to Hurrdat for producing the show. Pat Safford helping us as well. Phil McClain booking the guests. That's awesome as well. And for the newest Blue Jay, a guy who should be a defensive player.
Right.
With a name like Brock Vice. Put the Vice on you. We appreciate him for joining us as well. We also want to tell you, it's June 16th.
Can't wait.
That's when the bar opens. Let It Fly Sports Bar in the Capital District will open June 16th. We want you out there. We want you to be a part of it with all of us as well. Go to the website. Get those specials so you have a little bit of extra money when you get there to spend.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. It definitely is. The Let It Fly Show, I'm Michael. Josh takes us away, though.
No, you take us away today.
I'm taking us away?
I got it.
You take it.
It's your boy, Josh Jones. On behalf of my man, Michael Severe, you know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly Show.